Thank you very much, k1ll, for that very, interesting information. Anyway, so this is still Prime Morning on Joy Prime, and my name is Asiodua Akomia. This is the News Flash segment where, we get to find out what some of the newspapers are reporting each and every morning. And then also, it being a Friday, you get the opportunity to find out, to call into the show. You join us on Zoom, and then you share your thoughts and opinions on anything that has interested in you, or I might be right, that has been of interest to you. Yes, I got that right. That has been of interest to you in the course of the week. But before I get into what the newspapers are reporting this morning, a huge thank you to Franco Trading Enterprise. Now, Franco Trading Enterprise is saying that from the comfort of your homes, you can download the app on your phone, Franco Trading app. If you're using iPhone or you're using any Android phone at all, they've got you covered. Just go to the App Store or the Play Store and download the app on your phone. And whatever electronic device that you're looking for, CCTV cameras, refrigerators, televisions, mobile phones, what is it that you're looking for? From the comfort of your homes or your offices, you can place an order and they will deliver at your doorstep. Or you can also pick up their phone numbers currently on your screen, give them a call and let them know whatever it is that you're trying to find out. And trust me, I know whatever brands that you're looking for, they have it. And you need not worry at all. It's all about Franco Trading Enterprise. And they say, still phones, fee. Let's get right into our newspapers for this morning. The very first newspaper is the Ghanaian Times. The Ghanaian Times, on the front page, we have "Let the World Hear About Ghana's Success Story." And this is from President John Dramani Mahama, and he's tasking new envoys. Moving on, police begins investigation into Akwetia assault. This is good to hear. Let me read on it a bit. So the Akwetia Police District Command has commenced an investigation into an alleged assault on Alhaji Masawudu Osman, third vice chairman of the New Patriotic Party, during the Akwetia by-election. The incident was said to have occurred when a confrontation broke out between Alhaji Masawudu and the escort of the National Democratic Congress NDC vice chairman, Chief Sofo Azoka. Alhaji Masawudu, who narrated the incident to the media, said that the altercations occurred while he was granting a media interview near the Akwetia Zongo area where he had been deployed to monitor the polls. According to the Akwetia District Police Command, Alhaji Masawudu was issued with a police medical form to attend hospital for treatment, endorsement, and return saying to the police for further investigations. This was contained in a press statement issued and signed by the Deputy Superintendent of Police, DSP David Fianco Ochoring, of the Public Affairs Unit's Eastern South Region, and copied the Ghanaian Times yesterday. The statement indicated that the case had since been referred to the Eastern South Regional Police Command for further investigations. All right, so let's move on to what some other stories are on the front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. We have, "You can invest in Ghana without fear." This is from the Lands Minister, and he's assuring investors. The banner headline is "Protect Aged Population." Professor k1ll calls for reform of social protection systems. Let's see what's on the back page. We have Chad. Chad snatch stoppage time draw with Ghana. Okay, yeah, that's what happened between Chad and Ghana yesterday. And then we have Agona Income gets merchandise borehole to ease water challenges. That's a good one, and that's it for the Ghanaian Times newspaper. Moving on, we have the Chronicle newspaper. On the front page, the banner headline is "Farmer Allegedly Defrauds Medical Doctor of 7 million Ghana cedis." Ooh, that's sad. And then we have "Boa to Australian investors come and invest in Ghana." And then also Accra roads turn death traps at night. And then Mahama unhappy with $15 million spent on missions abroad. Let's see what's on the back page. Chad scores late to deny Black Stars victory. Egypt to take a step closer to qualification as they host Ethiopia. Morocco set to protect their preferred record as they host Niger. And then Senegal, Sudan face off in Group B. I don't know if you have some other stories in here. During the news on News Flash, we saw the story on Mahama, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama being unhappy with the $15 million spent on missions abroad. That is also reflecting in here. And then we have dozens die after boat hits tree stump in Nigerian river. That's very, very sad. And then at the middle page, we have President John Mahama pays welcome visit to the Ofankor in Sowam Road project. And so my colleague Sheila Sechi was there before His Excellency visited the site. She was there and she has a report on that. We are going to show that right after I give you what the newspapers are reporting. And so let's see if we have some more. Okay, so MPP files petition against alleged criminal conduct of Sofo Azoka and others. And that's it for the Chronicles newspaper. Moving on to the next newspaper, we have the Insight newspaper. On the front page is Ridge Hospital obstetrics unit in crisis over inadequate beds and staff. And that was one of the stories that I brought your way during the news on Newsflash as well. We also have traditional medicine is key to our cultural heritage, good health, job creation, and rural development. This is from Professor Ato Duncan. And then police accused of cover-up in BCM Spintex facility controversy. I'm not behind Ada Songo chaos. Sege MP denies accusations. And then we have High Court's cautious and Soman Circuit Court ruling. Orders release of Singaporeans' properties. We are suffering due to poor roads, lack of basic schools, and this is from Joma Chief. Then we have United Nations raise concerns about alleged Ukrainian involvement in Africa and Russia. Let me see if you have some interesting stories in here. But at some point during the Newsflash segment, we are going to allow you into the show by joining us on Zoom and sharing your opinions on all the happenings from the beginning of the week. Which of the stories or happenings was most outstanding to you that you would love to express your thoughts on it? You get the opportunity to join us on Zoom a little later during the Newsflash segment. Okay, so we have China holds massive raid, pledging peaceful development. And I think that's it for the Insight newspaper. Now, speaking about what the middle page of the Chronicle highlighted, and that is in relation to President John Mahama paying welcome visit to the Ofankor and Sowam Road project. I did say early on that my colleague Sheila said she was there some days earlier, and she, gave us a report on the progress so far on the road construction. And so do enjoy this one. When we come back, I want you to get prepared and join us on Zoom. You know how we do always when we allow you in on our Zoom. You have to be well dressed. You have to be in a well-lit space, and you have to make sure that your phone, if you're using your phone or your laptop, your phone is properly placed. It is positioned properly so we can have a smooth transitioning when you come on. And when your Zoom ID is mentioned, please make sure that you're on mute. So you have to stay muted until your Zoom ID is set, and then you can share your thoughts with us. But let's go over to my colleague and let's see what she has for us in relation to the projects of the Ofankor and Sowam Road project.
Coming to you live from the Pokwase in Sowam and Amasaman stretch. And as you all know, this corridor of road is a vital artery linking Accra to the eastern region. And for years now, it has been turmoil for traders, for drivers, for commuters, and even residents just last week, we saw that they took to the street to protest, asking the government for an immediate intervention. Well, it looks like the government has conceded or has listened to their plea, because as we speak to you, contractors are back on site working. Now, how far have they gone and what lies ahead? We're here to uncover that. But before, what do we know about this project? We know that, number one, it's the N6 project, and construction started under the Mahama administration in 2016. We know that it's a 33-kilometer stretch of road, hoping to serve Accra all the way through to the eastern region. And contractors say that they are 75% complete, and work is expected to be fully completed in April 2026. Will they be able to make the time? Well, we'll find out. But we are here. We'll be speaking to the residents. We'll be speaking to some of the contractors on the road working, and we'll be speaking to commuters as well. One thing we can applaud is the temporal work that this road construction has brought to the youth of this community. I think it's brought some relief, and so we'll find out from them pretty shortly. But before, we've been extended an invitation to the palace. So let's speak to Dromo himself and let's find out what exactly their concerns are. Join us. I must confess, the dust is unbearable and residents here are complaining, and they have every right to. I'm being joined right now by Nidromo the First, who happens to be the Jasehine of Sapiman. Thanks for joining me. Tell me what exactly your concerns are. We are right opposite your house, and I can see how the dust have beaten your property. Itemize your daily concerns for us.
Thank you. Nidromo the First, Sapiman Jasehine. Masumake amra lo ake idu ma fe na asija chiche beni abaje road enhie ameke oba na chitamo ake ambafe road double road ne enwo ka make o wasumake ameke a footbridge, because road aja road em tutu a footbridge and by accept am go no me aka about footbridge wo collect zeti MCE mapoma work market regional road minister MPP regime up to now.
That's in 2016.
Yes, up to now, we're not going to footbridge here. The bone road there, to one escape the road there now with that footbridge here, or be your man, only about Trame, and back boy my name. So on park government fight, MPP and this government to bar Mama, walk panify, when you bomb the Konya have a footbridge here. See what one back Bodino is happening my being road major in you. Excuse a P, excuse a P, making be across a bar. Would that be there or whopping on Piwa, 1 hour, walk more puffy, walk a petition tea all over, and you in what Betruga in can discuss on it. She one Abawa, as at now 1 year, 1 Nakuluku, 1 pa Mama Fi, came in with Mr. Fi, I can able modern food bridges, Abema, Kajatoma, Kati Pobiman, food be the schools across all, I across Okayakeba. Imabachon. No, you can get Toma, no across a Siboteli, Tanoso Batobo, or Puffy. This is too much. Or Pagometify, Konewa, and how food be there.
To translate what he said, his concerns are that this stretch is used mostly by school children. As you can see, there are schools on the left and on the right-hand side, and so crossing on daily basis becomes an issue. He's sending a plea to the government to construct a footbridge that would ease, the movement of these school children from one end of the road to the other. So we're still here on the Amasaman stretch, and we're going to uncover what the contractors are up to 1 week after the protest. Stay with us. I have with me here Engineer Mahama Abdullahi, who happens to be the project head for this stretch of road. Now, he's a known face to our cameras, and I'm glad I met you, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Now, let's step into what exactly is happening now. At which level are we?
All right, so where we are working now, we are doing what we call the cement stabilize. We are adding cement to the gravel to make what we call the invented layer. So after that, we'll put on the crushed rock, and then here we'll start to see the black top. The black top is the asphalt. So this is actually the north direction. When you are going towards Nsawam or Kumasi, what we call the service lane, like the trotros and anybody who stays around here. So that is what we are doing this stretch. Then the next stretch is what we are doing, the North Main. So if you have no business in the community along the road, from Ofanko all the way to Nsawa and beyond, you move into the main express road, and you are off. So on that side, we are just around formation. So by next week, we'll be doing what we call the curing of the cement stabilized. They will put in the crash rock. The crash rock is the crash rocks that we are getting from the quarry. After which we'll just put the prime coat on it, and then we'll receive the asphalt on that side. So we are altering the traffic in the service lane and the main lane in northern direction, and then the same happens on the southern direction, the main and then the service as well.
What we mostly see is that when there's road construction, there's a lot of traffic. What diversions have you created? And I realize that the diversion is still on the main road. Can we create diversions, outside of the main working area?
Of course, because of the proximity of houses around the road, we cannot go very far away. So we actually make do what we have on the road. Some instances, we use the main corridor, the main express road as a diversion when we are working in the service lane. In some instances, we move into the service lane, we move into the main corridor to work, and we use the service lane as a diversion. Many times we see a lot of broken down vehicles, not necessarily because of the construction. Some of them may be as a result of mechanical fault, engine problems. Those heavy trailers will need the service of the MTTD to come and help us to move those vehicles out of the road. But by and large, you can see that now that we are working the service lane, the main road is being used as a alternative for the diversion. So it's actually inside by diversion. And then the other side of the road is where we have the Accra-bound stretch. So one area has been restricted for no movement because we are actually put the crash rock there, and then we are using the service lane, that's the Accra-bound, as the route that vehicles are using now. So next week, for instance, when you come here, we will not be standing here. We'll move into another direction, and here will be open to traffic.
I see that with your gentlemen on ground, you have safety measures in place. What of the commuters? What of pedestrians? Do we have any safety measures put in place as part of this construction?
Right. So where we have 9 footbridges which are actually at various places of completion. Others are being used. And so if we move further to around mid-year Sansam Junction, we have actually provided the footbridges with the pedestrian guardrails that makes them to move across the road safely without falling down. Where we have high retaining walls, we have provided steps, wooden steps that people use as a decoy through the other side of the road. Where we have ponds, where we are taking water to suppress the dust on the road.
I've seen that.
Yeah, so we cordon off those areas for safety considerations. So we cordon off with the danger signs. So no resident or children around the area would move to die. But we also have security men who are within those areas because of thievery and other things in those stretches.
One of the things I realized is that last week, what struck us is the you mentioned pond. That's what reminded me. It was a pool of, from the rains, and it caused this whole, intervention, which is a good thing. What are the measures that you've put in place? I see a rise from this side. Are we likely to see, another flooding, incident if the rains come pouring?
No, so we don't have, let's say, flood in the area. They are just localized points because of the design of the road. Okay. Because we are not at the design stage, we have some area where we have a trough. Yeah. So those areas may receive some water as and when. But once the design is coming to completion, all those bottlenecks will be eradicated. We have whip holes within the retaining walls that collect water into the underground drainages that we have along. And then some of the culverts at their various discharge points are being excavated or dredged, okay, so that we would have smooth transition of water from the road to the communities and beyond. Okay. Right, and then I feel like those areas that you spoke about 2 weeks ago, yeah. It took us just about 4 days.
So it's completed, and we can confidently drive by and check it out.
Yes. I'm sure if you're still the same, you'd have seen those viral videos and pictures. But I think we try sometimes some of these things. But I think that we should also be applauded for what they have seen drastically.
Well, we'll go and see that for ourselves first before the applause.
my request or my plea is still the same. When we have the entrance of the road from Ofanko in both directions, so those who are northbound are actually entering the road from Ofanko and other areas on the road. Then those who are entering from the end of our project, which is in Sawam, coming to Accra, there are speed limits that's been provided. Under no circumstance should any driver be driving at a speed more than 30 kilometers per hour. So they're saying the speed limit. So it means that's the maximum speed you can do. Ironically, we have drivers who are doing over 3 times the speed. And then when they produce more dust, they say that the contractor is not suppressing the dust. If you all go according to the design speed during construction stages, and the contractor also does the obligation by watering the road, we will not be having the dust that are actually overwhelming the communities along the shore. Especially you are driving your Land Cruiser or your Prado, whatever, you have rolled
or your trotro.
Yeah, no, I'm giving the instance for those who are actually leading the Ford. They have raised their glasses up and then they move away. The trotro don't have air conditions. Yeah. So when they move with a certain speed, they should know that there are people behind them who are also suffocating because of the action that those who are leading are taking. And then, so when they go by the speed limit, we'll be good to go. And then the vehicles that are getting damaged on the road, they have to be swift in getting the cars out of there. Some of them want to repair all their cars in the center of the road. And that becomes an inconvenience to motorists who are actually plying that route. That's a challenge that is beyond the contractor. So that's where the MTTD comes in to come and do what is needful on the road. But like I said, we'll go to those stretches and you'll be very happy to see.
Well, we'll see that. But before we go, I realized that you have some young women, I'm assuming that they are from the community. And so this construction is serving as a temporal work relief for them.
Yeah, so if the project has traveled about 2-3 years, it means that people would have been able to save. Yeah. And then we encourage a lot of feminines. Some of our operators are women. Our flag ladies are women. Those who have been trained to watch or give the traffic controls are ladies. Our HSC, our traffic engineers are ladies. And so what you have seen is not like it's just a fanfare. It is a conscious effort by the contractor to also make do with these people within the corridor of the area. Largely, we have over thousands of workers on the road. Yes. Because we have all the carpenters, we have the masons, we have the steel benders, the mechanics, operators, the flagmen, the drivers. There are a lot. And some other subcontractors on the whole stretch of the road.
So it is estimated that by April 2026, the work will finally see a completion. Are we to look out for that or an extension perhaps?
Satisfactorily. So what we have done is that, we lost some time when we're not working. But that is not what the contractor wants. No contractor would want to be requesting for extension of time. It actually eats into your profit markups. So every contractor would like to work on and finish on schedule. So we have actually crashed our program. It means that we have compressed our activities. Some of the days we are working day and night so that we're able to make the time and then finish. Or it becomes, when we are not able to justify the completion or we are not able to finish on time, we may provide some documents to justify a legitimate extension of time. And that has to be approved by the consultant through the Ghana Highway Authority and the Ministry of Roads and Highways. What
is your biggest challenge now after resuming or coming back on road for the construction?
Okay, there were outstanding problems before we went for a temporary stoppage. We have the relocation lines. You can see the high tension posts up there. They are supposed to be located. Most of them are within the carriageway. So we are not done with those ones. We have the Ghana water lines underneath the road. We don't want to have any pipeline which may cause any burst.
Will that affect the community in any way?
No. So the subcontractor produce a new ones or provide new ones, install them before they quickly connect the old ones to the new ones, so that they don't have any of those inconveniences. In fact, they actually travel from Sawam all the way to Ofanko. Okay. So they don't have that problem. And some few issues with the compensations, which we are still negotiating with the affected the project affected persons. Amasaman largely has a whole community that has supposed to be relocated. And so when those compensations are done, they need some reasonable time to be able to move from those areas and then find themselves either their own homes or rental accommodations elsewhere. Because we have to put a human face to the work we are doing. So these are the few things that humanly we have to work on and then get people out of the project because we will not inconvenience anybody who stays around because of the road construction. But we have to be reasonable with those people before we locate them. And like you said, government has paid the outstanding certificate, which means that the work that had been done by the contractor had been paid. So as we are continuing with the work, it means that we are accruing some other certificates. And it's only necessary that government honors the certificate, which will be raised and submitted to Ghana Highway Authority for consideration and approval. And so that's our hope, that whatever is outstanding from now that we are working ahead, when the claims are raised, government pays and then we'll finish the work on time. And we pray that we don't also have the force majeure out of board. Extreme weather conditions, that's the rainfall, would actually thwart some of the progress of the contractors' works.
So this section of the road is what attracted a lot of masses' attention and in fact caused the government to, send the immediate intervention. And the contractor tells me, and I can see for myself, that it is going through the various pavement sessions. It's already had a general feeling. I'm told from here you're going to have cement stabilization, and then we're going to have a crash and then the asphalt. Also, what I've noticed is that the barricade on the overpass, there is a barricade that's pedestrian guard to enable pedestrians, have some level of safety when they are locomoting from one end of the overpass to the other. And so that's the new development happening here on the Pokwase in Sawem, or Pokwase Amasaman in Sawem Road. Almost started Quine a week ago. Contractors are about Quine Muno. Then I went in Sasanya Bain away who road anymore.
Oh, well, you who in Sasanya Kakra, but I quite to say, in Sue 7 the way Quine, always in foot runner there and Sasanya. And foot runner to me might be 2 hours, 3 hours, and Sanamudi Swab a good road no so. Riches and also my bread. Ah, Motoya Echi. Ofa Nipaba, who didn't be quite in a road, no, over corner shocks, and in a essay. Which is Macedonia has a way, for instance, who run inside that, unto say Okitaka, a baby for Untumenko. Intino, Basa. And I must start to coin there well, a cost there.
A band shall say, oh, G side and side, no. Am I who say, and such a cry then, Eba. But the hard pan say, Jumano Moya Nankasano. A quay Omubahwa no mojai, Omubahwa no mojai. Am I high pa? In footron into pa, and a queen, footron the queen.
Yeah, quite I see. A quite beer, say traffic cheer. I'm by someone going now to make for this road. My area, like the road is too bad.
That's the inner road, no?
Yeah, this is the inner road for us. We have to do this road for us because we are suffering too much. Even from satellites. You say me carry 2 months ago, no. Na kwani there. It's your talk there, madam. Jai, enyak na enyak kra.
Say Nankasan, Emra so say, as I say, ye jai say bibia na ye de ani akoto aban. Aban no de ono oti ho. Ono waja what the ashisha man for nsa. Mommy. Aban the ashisha man enti wo mo a aban the asho mo nsa no. Na say ye ahemfo ne assembly man MPs. Wo mo so nsole. So almost Solia, a quite way. Missy 1 year kura endru. Yadi be ye kwan we awie.
Says Osin, contractor say latest by next year April the year.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Futuroni there, won't me chat all white to crown farm Emma.
Tina washa black.
And we just have that there we are bosses so much a caddy. And say and Futuroni dear queen to move and so me gusuma and 10 tems so. And so only be Baba 10 and 10 tems so sir. Now, I so go to quote and my april, and a quine and say, yeah, what to a preku.
Now, what started at Woton Ejani was in how long?
Oh, so far from February, but that's the Nintina Mad on yesterday. Obi or wow, now better, but all but no who sent a destiny, or Hana own Gina. Nipa 1 no Gina, some better idea. And can you know the uncle to Nanke, but that's the Ninty, I did on.
So like I mentioned earlier, this road construction has brought some relief, in terms of employment to the community. And I have one gentleman here who has found a temporal job.
Yeah, I got this job before the road construction. Before that, I was working at Akosombo. Yeah, I was working at Continental Hotel.
And you came back and you weren't working?
Yeah, I came back. I came back to visit my sister here, and I see that this job can help me a lot. That's why I've entered into this job.
Can you open up a little as to how much you are paid on regular basis? Is it possible?
Oh, the payment, it is very good. But I can't tell you. Unless you the one you want to do the job, you have to enter there and know how the job is. But the pay is very good.
From dust and protests to bulldozers and asphalt, well, one thing remains, the fact that the Pokwase in Sawema Strait is beginning to see some light, and pedestrians, commuters, residents especially are optimistic of the future of this road. Well, contractors are promising that latest by April 2026, this road will see completion, and we on the side of the media, we will be feeding you all the reports, the progress reports. We'll be bringing it to you, following keenly and holding authorities accountable. I'm Sheila Section.
Well, that was a very interesting report right there. And we are, well, I am elated. I am excited that there's some level of progress on this road, because it's been a huge problem for a while now for commuters, most especially residents around, you know, the Nsawam-Pokwase or K1ll stretch. It's been terrible for them. The level of dust that they have had to inhale and exhale, my goodness, it's been. I've actually not thought about, you know, I mean, I'm just thinking about it though, that I wonder how much the dust has affected the respiratory, you know, the residents, basically their health in general. I really wonder. I think we need to look into that. My colleague Musbao is joining me for us to, you know, talk a little bit on this. But I think we need to look at that aspect as well, because I'm pretty sure that the level with which the place, you know, cars, the way cars would move, some are going so fast, some are going pretty slow. Still, there's dust everywhere. And then we've got a number of residents living very close to these roads. I wonder how that has affected them in their general health. Anyway, so it's exciting to know that there's some level of progress in relation to that particular road. And we know that an amount of about $78 million has been given to the contractor for this project. And we are hoping and praying that by the deadline that has been proposed during this report, it was proposed that April 2026, but as of yesterday, the deadline that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was given is June 2026. And he did say that he's going to hold him accountable by this particular deadline, which is June 2026. So fingers crossed. We are hoping and praying that everything will go according to plan. Razak?
Yeah.
We are hoping and praying. Fingers crossed on this one. But not only are we looking at the construction of this road, I was saying earlier that you remember one of the stories I brought your way yesterday. Yeah. We need to be really, really concerned about the level with which people or pedestrians are nonchalant about their own lives. Yeah. Is very alarming that they are nonchalant about their own lives, you know, where footbridges are built for your own safety. True. But you think that, you need to, for your own comfort, or because you think, like what you were saying earlier, that they say the stairs are too many, the stairs are too long,
my waist is hurting me.
My waist is hurting me.
I cannot climb.
All those funny excuses for your own safety.
For your own safety.
It's very disheartening.
Yeah, it's very disheartening. And I think we do have, is it Reverend Crabbe?
Yes, we do. Reverend Cyril Crabbe, yes, has joined us on Zoom. Accident Victim Support Ghana. And we are going to have a very interesting conversation with him. Rev, if you can hear us, good morning to you. Reverend Cyril, can you please unmute? If you can hear me. All right, so we are trying to get Reverend Cyril Crabbe, but you get the opportunity to join into the conversation by sending in your comments, your suggestions, your opinions, your questions to our WhatsApp number 055-157-5757, or you can go to our Facebook page. It is Joy Prime TV. I mean, one of the questions that we're asking you is, what is the current state of your roads, wherever you're living, or whatever routes that you use to get to your home? What is the state of the roads? You can share that with us. Or maybe there are some other outstanding or interesting stories or happenings from the beginning of the week that you would love to share your opinion on. Do not worry, do not hesitate to share that with us on our social media platforms. And in the course of the segment, we'll definitely read them. Okay, so I believe you have Reverend Crabbe back on. Good morning to you. Reverend Cyril Crabbe, please, if you can hear me, kindly unmute. All right, so yeah, Zach.
Yes.
We're going to try to get Reverend Cyril Crabbe.
Yeah, we'll try and get Reverend Cyril Crabbe. And we're just talking about road crash, road accidents in the country. And the National Road Safety released their data from January to June, the first half of this year, as far as road accidents are concerned. And based on what I have with you, I'm just going to share some numbers, very striking numbers, all right, very striking numbers with you. Now, the National Road Safety reported, a very worrying trend of 21.6% increase in road deaths in Ghana between January to June. 21% in road deaths between January to June. Now, let's get into the details a bit more. Now, according to the authority, a number of 1,504 people lost their lives through road accidents between January to June in this year alone, 2025. 1,504 Ghanaians lost their lives due to road accident between January to June. January to June alone, that's the number of people lost.
I remember a number of stories that I've had to do during what's trending in relation to road accidents. So we have trucks, these loaded trucks that are faulty and do not even have these triangle reflectors to put on the roads to give a signal to vehicles ahead that, you know, there's a broken vehicle ahead. So, especially at night. And it's, for some weird reason, their vehicles get broken down at night quite often.
Quite a lot. Now, what is even more striking is that, so 2025, January to June, 1,504 people lost their lives. Now, ordinarily, National Road Safety, their job is to help educate the public as far as road safety things are concerned. Now, then you look at 2024, because then you get to see whether the National Road Safety is doing their job. Whether the DVLA is doing their job. Whether all the agencies that are supposed to ensure there is safety on our roads are doing the job. You look at it, whether the numbers are decreasing. Now, last year, between January to June, 1,237 Ghanaians lost their lives. That's a huge number. And ordinarily, you are thinking that the various agencies who are supposed to ensure that there is safety on our roads haven't seen the number of people who lost their lives last year, 1,237, will sit, be alarmed by it, and do better. But guess what? Not much was done, so much that from 1,230, we've moved to 1,500 people, 21% increase
I don't know,
on the number of people who lost their lives.
I believe the agencies are doing their best. I believe they're trying. I believe they have worked. I believe that mediums like ours, last year, we did our very best to, you know, champion a number of causes where we are trying to let people know that you need to be very careful when if you're a driver, if you're a commuter, if you're a pedestrian, you need to abide by the road safety regulations, the traffic rules. If you're a motor rider, you need to abide by them. But it seems that one way or the other...
There's a problem of enforcement. There's a major problem of enforcement.
They feel they have, you know, I don't think they are scared enough of whatever the consequences could be.
That's the point. But the point is that the reason why somebody will not be afraid of the consequences is because you're not enforcing the law when it comes to obeying the regulations, all right? So somebody crosses a red light. What do you do?
Yeah.
All right? If somebody crosses a red light, do we punish the person so much that it serves as deterrence to others? Okay? If somebody is moving from one lane to the other and is doing it at the wrong place, what is the punishment for that?
Yeah.
Okay? If there's a zebra crossing, kids are about to cross, you've seen the kids crossing on the zebra crossing, and a car still moves and goes in there to crash the kids. What is the punishment? All right? The marking is on the road. What is the punishment? So there is the law enforcement part.
What the marking is.
There's the law enforcement part, and there is there are the things that are supposed to be on the road to guide people in the usage of the roads.
Yeah.
And I understand Rev is available now. We're going to talk to him. Then we'll get more into the numbers because it is increasing.
Yeah.
The number of people dying on our roads increasing. The accidents are increasing. And all of this point to one thing: the law is not being enforced. The agencies are clearly not doing enough.
Yeah.
The drivers are not adhering to the road regulations, and we need to talk about it. We can't keep losing precious lives.
That's true.
Precious lives to road accidents.
That's very true. Anyways, joining us on Zoom is Reverend Cyril Crabbe, and he's from the Accident Victim Support Ghana. Good morning, Reverend Crabbe.
Yes, good morning.
Hope you're well.
Terence, good morning also to your viewers. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for joining into the show. And I'm pretty sure that my colleague Razak Musbao just drew our attention to, you know, the numbers in relation to lives that have been lost due to road accidents from the month of January till June. And that is pretty alarming as compared to the first half of 2024. It has increased. Now, I wonder what exactly is being done wrong, or things are being done right, but it's just not being done enough. What would you say in relation to that?
Thank you very much. It's just that today you have sent me a reporter by force.
Please pardon us. It's for the love of the job.
That's just by the way. No, for multimedia, you are my people. I just pray that this year will do me more good because I'm coming with a proposal.
Thank you.
So this one is just requested, you know, from their side. But with the questions that you asked, I think this year, all of us, including yourselves, you know, forgive me for this statement, and I have to seek your pardon before I think. Talk is cheap, and this is the reality of the statement. Talk is cheap. Road safety, it's not a government alone work, even though majority of its implementation comes from government.
Yes.
When we were in Sweden, 2019, I was part of the government delegated team that went to Sweden. And over there, you can see how the world and some part of Africa, you know, handles road safety.
Yeah.
So let me use Japan. Japan, for instance, the road safety issues are managed by the presidency. They are managed by the presidency. That is one. When you come to Sweden, road safety issues are managed by the presidency. You know, and so if you take Ghana, you can see that the road safety issues itself are not being implemented or are not received much attention by the presidency. Why am I saying? For the past 4 years, we have seen the skyrocketing nature of road crashes and the addition or multiplication of road crash victims where I sit. And for the past 4 years, you've seen how we've turned deaf ear to the implementation of road safety regulations and practices for the past 4 years. It has skyrocketed because the past 4 years, we refuse to do something about it. And that is the issue. You see, we refuse to do it. And we are in a country where politics thrive a lot. When politics speaks, things work.
Right.
And so if the four arms of government refuse to talk about road safety, I'm talking about the executive, I'm talking about parliament, you have done well, the fourth realm has done well, but you can see even how the judiciary had kept quiet about the skyrocketing nature of road accidents. I just heard you right now talking about the punitive measures.
Yeah.
We have classical issues which has happened in this country, and you have seen how the punitive measure is so light that a person can now think of killing people and will just come to the road and kill, and will be given only 6 months, will be given 3 months, will be given 3 weeks, just to a small fine, and then the person is free.
Right.
Meanwhile, the person has wasted a life, you know, and you can see how a part of the economy that really brings money to us, that makes the economy to thrive, which is the roads and transport. You can see how we have left it like that. And today, you cannot even see or tell what is going on our roads and highways. And I'm talking passionately because just yesterday, I came from k1ll, and you can see the deplorable state of the roads. You can see, I was asking if there are indeed law enforcers on the road. At a point, I have to stop and make myself known that this is what I do and this is where I belong to. And so I think that these things should be stopped, or at least should be checked. You are seeing how law enforcers are now on TikToks. And so drivers and private drivers especially, who have increased in accidents recently, according to their statistics, are on WhatsApp and they are on TikToks. And all of you can see how pedestrians are walking on the road, jaywalking on the road, and not even using the footbridges that have been given to them. You see, at the end of the day, you can see that the entire country, we have shared responsibility and duty when it comes to road safety issues. You spoke about zebra crossings. In the first place, do we even have the markings? Are the markings visible? Are we seeing visible road markings? We are not seeing them. Are we seeing road markings that should be at the right place? We are not seeing them. You talk about school children crossing at the zebra crossing. Even the school child does not even know the meaning of the
zebra crossing.
The policeman does not even, go closer to the student to help them to cross.
That's true.
This is what safety child road safety campaign that I started was saying. That look, the police people can even enter the schools quarterly or periodically to teach them how law enforcers, the friendliness of law enforcers, so that it wouldn't be like, we are collaborating, and police are chill. And so you grow up fearing the police. You get my point?
Gone was a time where I remember when I was younger in schools, in our primary schools, it was intentionally being taught.
Yeah.
Where you know about the lollipop man. The lollipop man is the man who stands by the road to help the school children cross the road. And then it's like you're not seeing that in today's schools. I don't know what is happening.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you very much. You've helped me. I grew up knowing these things. And so when I became the road safety ambassador, I am doing these things. We are currently planting 1,000 lollipop stands across the country in front of schools.
Okay.
Where we have realized that school children die. In fact, school children get involved in accident or they die through accident when they are going to school or they are coming from school.
Yeah.
You see how school children have been left alone and walking by the roadside. And so whenever they see a car coming, they just have to rush, and before you see, they rush into the car. We have had a situation where a student is running rather for safety and ran into the car and was crushed in the head. In the head. We have planted a lollipop stand there. The schools that we have in Ghana here are not even employing wardens, traffic wardens, like the lollipop man. They don't even know what a lollipop is.
Yeah.
And they have anybody at all without any identity who are by the roadside stopping a car like a truck driver. You understand me? And we must take steps, serious steps to implement these things. So when I hear you talk about it, you see, I started laughing because it is not the job of the National Road Safety alone. Even the National Road Safety is complaining about resources, financial resources. If you have heard their PRO on the road, on the news, talking about challenges that they are facing over there, challenges like financial resources, human capital. They are talking about even sanctions that they give. Recently, we saw lawyer Ibrahim Malima destroying some signages that they placed on the road at Ayawaso. You know, I received a call. They said, "Look, go and tell your boss, install what we need." But that is what we also have to start with. The entire country have issues. Now let's come to driver. The drivers today, I don't know if it is a deliberate intent that the entire country drivers have decided that they are going to kill people.
Yeah.
That is the decision they are taking. And so every day, you hear 8 people are dead, 11 people, 16 people in a day without even counting the entire 16 regions. And it's like they don't even adhere to anything. I hear you talking about if they adhere to road safety practices. They don't even know. Because when you call them to come and sit down, so you teach them a thing or two, they will not mind you. They will tell you, "Yakopeska, Yakoshe Wamwebu, and Panso, Chikape, and Yashe Wamwebu." No, they hear it say, "Abreye."
Wow.
You understand me? I mean, this is the issue, and it is now a fundamental issue. So I, for instance, as one man, road safety ambassador, I have taken the road safety pledge that we will all pledge, the entire country can pledge, or we will have to pledge that we will ride and drive or conduct ourselves in a manner that will save life so that we all stay alive. You see, because today we've all decided to be killing people. You understand? 14,000 deaths already. Take it from me. If we don't take care, we will hit more than the 2020. 2020 was the first time we had 3,000 deaths and about 22,000 crashes. And out of that, we have so many injured victims that we cannot even handle. If we have 15,000 injured victims every year, 15,000 injured victims every year, and the accident victim support have only one sponsor who sponsors our program, how do you think we'll be able to take care of these victims? And so we are going into the preventive measure. We are supporting the National Road Safety Authority. I have worked with the National Road Safety Authority as, you know, a by person doing ambassadorial work, and also the president for accident victims. And the victims that I see, what they say is what I use to campaign, you know, to campaign. And I tell you, look, the issue is more dire, it's more serious, it's more dangerous, it's more deadly, it's more barbaric than any other in these few months that we have come. Let me quickly say, I don't blame the government. I don't blame the government so much. They have just come in.
Thank you, Rev.
Putting their things right. But I think that as patriotic as we can be as a citizen, all of us, we are duty bound to make sure that lives are saved and we all stay alive. We are all vulnerable. And so we must all and see something, say something, report something, stop somebody as you are in the car, and if you are outside, you walk at the right place, you follow the regulations like using the footbridges, and you are good to go. And above all, we are pleading, support the Accident Victims Support Foundation, and then we can support those who, for no purpose. All right,
Rev, we seem to be losing you. Rev, thank you very much. We seem to have. But thank you very much for your wonderful work. Really appreciate the work you're doing to try and, you know, promote safety on our roads. We really, really appreciate your work. And thank you also for making time to be with us. We were expected to be with you on grounds there. But we thank you for your patience and for making time to be with us. It's Reverend Cyril, one of Ghana's very, very illustrious persons helping to ensure safety on our roads. And yeah, as he said, you can support him and his foundation as they do their best to ensure safety on our roads. But the numbers are staggering. 1,504 people have lost their lives already through road accidents from January to June of this year. And that is a 21% increase from last year in the same time frame from January to June. And the bigger question we're asking is, what are we doing wrong? What is it that we are doing wrong? Why are the numbers increasing? Because even the numbers for road accidents themselves, just road accidents themselves, they have increased. They have increased. Look at that. The statistics reveal a significant rise from 7,289 cases recorded this year compared to 6,000 cases that were recorded last year. Last year, we did 6,000 road accidents. This year, from January to June, we've done 8,000. And the number of people who lost their lives, almost 2,000. We are losing precious lives. Losing precious lives. We are losing precious lives. And sometimes, you see that, sometimes we don't seem to appreciate the pain of losing somebody who has just decided to move from, say, Accra to Kumasi, which ordinarily is supposed to be a 4-hour journey. Accra to Kumasi, arrive safely, and boom, you lose someone just because of reckless driving, the state of our roads. It cannot continue to happen. It just cannot continue to happen.
Well, this is an all-hands-on-deck initiative. I love the fact that Reverend Crabbe did mention that it is not only the responsibility of the Road Safety Authority, it is every single institution, it is we as individuals that we need to be aware of ourselves, and we all need to come together and fight this. You shouldn't be in the comfort of your homes and just waiting for every single time you want to be spoon-fed with some information, you want to be spoon-fed, or do this right, do this wrong. Please, we need to stop. Anyway, so we have joining us on Zoom, Kaminga. Good morning to you. Kaminga, if you can hear me, kindly unmute and let's get talking. You can also join us on Zoom. The Zoom ID and password is currently on your screen. Pick it up. You need to be in a well-lit space. You need to be properly dressed, and you need to make sure that your phone is properly positioned so we can see you properly, and then, it's not too shaky. Every single person that comes on our Zoom has about 45 seconds to make their submissions, and then we'll move on to the next. Kaminga, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, what do you want to say this morning?
I said you are. Where is KMG?
KMJ is currently on leave. He'll be back soon.
Oh, okay. This is your Dagomba man. That's what.
Musbao?
You've forgotten your responses.
Oh my God. Please help me out.
Nah.
Oh, it's Cyril. Forgive me. It's been a while. That's the reason it escaped me.
In fact, it's been a while.
It has been a while.
And in fact, since August, I'm not able to watch television until today.
Oh.
Serious. So I just want to greet you.
Thank you.
And I want to request this your platform to just do some small politics, if you can allow me.
Today, we just want to see what we can do to, ensure safety on our roads, because the numbers show that more and more people are dying on our roads. And we are asking questions, what could be the cause? Why are we finding it difficult to reduce road accidents in our country? And what do you think could be the reason why that is happening?
Well, this one, it cut across. Because like my senior brother who just left, unless you pass through that stretch, in some Pokwasi that stretch, unless you pass through there, you never know how the people are feeling there. The road is very bad. Look, a journey that will take you, let's say, 20 minutes, when you reach there, it will take you more than an hour. Cars spoiled, blocking the way, cars crossing each other. In fact, it's very terrible over there, unless you just witness it with your own eyes. So with this one, it's cut across. Drivers have to exercise patience. The leaders have to do something about the road, fix it. In fact, so that all of us, we have a part to play. So we are just pleading to each other that, we should all take our responsibilities and make the country grow. And in fact, I want to use this your platform to greet Dr. Seydou Fita, who is currently aspiring to be the MP for Tamale Central.
All right.
We are wishing him good luck in advance.
All right. Thank you very much for joining. Really appreciate your time. And you can also join us via Zoom. Let's hear from you as we try to deal with the road accidents cases in our country. The numbers are staggering. 7,289 road crashes so far. In fact, 12,354 vehicles, have been involved. And then 1,504 people have lost their lives already. And some 8,300 people have been injured because of that situation. And what is even more striking is that 1,301 people have been knocked down by cars. And that speaks to pedestrians, all right? It speaks to pedestrians, people trying to cross the road. Yeah. Sometimes they are just people even walking on the shoulders of the road, and a car veers over and knocks them down, all right? And there are many traders who have been victims of that, selling by the roadside, and by the time they realize a car has lost its brake and hit them. And we are trying to get into it. So join the conversation right now.
You know, sometimes I've been wondering that with truck drivers, with taxi drivers, are there no rules guiding exactly where they are supposed to stop and alight a passenger or pick up passengers?
Of course, there are bus stops.
Not just the bus. So it's like, are we even able to? Does the bus stops, does it always have to be, you know, the ones with the shed, you know, only where you see a lot of people standing? Because now it's like, yeah, just anywhere, anybody can go stand.
Yeah, indiscriminate stopping.
Flag down a taxi, get in, and then, you know, flag down a trotro. Like they just stop and pick up passengers and alight passengers anywhere. Yeah. And nobody is doing anything about it. Nobody is trying to get involved. You see police officers on the road, MTTD, they are on the roads and everything, but then they are not really doing anything.
They're not doing anything.
They watch them do whatever. When you go to Accra, you know, one of the things, Accra, I don't really go there, but one of the interesting things I've noticed about Accra is that when they say you cannot park here, you cannot.
Yeah.
When they say you don't have to park here, you don't have to park.
But they'll clamp it. They'll come and clamp the car.
They will come and clamp the car.
Yeah, and you have to pay a lot.
Exactly.
You have to pay a lot. And if it is implemented in many parts of the city.
That's the point I was getting to.
And one of the menace that is also creeping now has to do with the Okada riders.
Yeah.
Okada riders, especially when it's in traffic and people are trying to cross the road. When it's traffic, maybe it's red, all cars have stopped and you have pedestrians trying to cross the road. By the time you realize, out of nowhere, then they knock you down. Yeah. Out of nowhere, they knock you down. And these days also, if you look at most of the accidents that lead to immediate deaths, is motorbike accidents. Yeah. Because you are exposed, your entire body is exposed. I just received a report of a family friend whose son lost his life. He was preparing to go back to the secondary school. Lost their life. Friend just came to pick him up to go do something in town on a motorbike. They were packed by the side of the road, and a car apparently had lost brake, came to smash into them, and the kid lost his life completely. Oh my God. Completely lost his life just like that. And I've had incidents of colleagues who have also lost, friends of colleagues who have lost their life just on a motorbike, an accident, and boom, they lost their lives. And that's the danger with motorbikes, and that's the danger on our roads. Ghana's roads have become such a danger. It is just so unsafe to be on the road anymore. 1,500 people have lost. 1,500 Ghanaians have lost their lives. We are not at war. It is not a disease. It is not a conflict. Road accident has claimed the life of 1,500 Ghanaians. And we think it is not alarming. This is an epidemic. This is a problem. And we need to deal with it.
It is a huge problem indeed. Unfortunately, our time is up. We have to wrap it up and then move on to the next segment. But you know, speaking about this, I want to say this quickly. Yeah. So one of our sound techs, Kobe P. Kobe P is a sound guy for, you know, on Prime Morning currently. So yesterday, Kobe P met me and he was telling me something that he and Blossom, who is our makeup artist here, crossed to the other side of the road to go and buy bread. On their way coming, you know, right in front of Joy, there's a zebra crossing. And so that is what we do. We stand right there, wait for, you know, drivers as sensible as we hope they would be, you know, to stop for us to use the zebra to cross. Exactly. So the car had stopped where the zebra crossing is. The car had stopped and they were about crossing. And out of nowhere, a motorbike just came with the speed of lighting, right? And they were crossing. So he told me, they said,
yeah.
So imagine.
Yeah. And right in front of the same zebra crossing here, a motorbike has knocked one of our colleagues before, right there.
Yes.
Knocked one of our colleagues before.
Yes.
It's like they have complete disregard for road signs and road regulations. If you're an Okada man, it's like you are the president. Even the president is not above the law. If you're an Okada man, it's like you are the constitution of Ghana. You are the law. You are the law. It is just unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. Trotro drivers will park anywhere. They will stop anywhere. Right in traffic, somebody waves at them and boom.
Yeah.
If you're behind them, by the time you realize you crash into them very easily.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable.
I do not know what level or what kind of mentality that a number of these drivers and Okada riders, these motorbikers have, but something really.
You don't have to wait to lose somebody through an accident before you
Exactly.
understand how painful it is. How painful it is to lose somebody through road accident. It's so painful. So painful, you know.